all these exercises are really pelvic floor, core and back friendly. They may seem small, but they're really effective. So the first one, we're just going to do some pelvic tilts. Either put a towel under the arch of your back, or if your shoulders and arms can do it, put your hands under the arch of your back. And we're just going to inhale and then exhale and do a pelvic tilt. And that really means like tucking the tailbone towards your heels. As you exhale, push your back into your hands so you can really feel your abdominals working. So it's an inhale and then an exhale as we tuck the tailbone down and push the back into the hands. So then an inhale and an exhale, pelvic tilt, tuck the tailbone down. The next one, we're just going to have one leg outstretched, one knee bent, still with one hand under the back and the other hand on your ribs, so that we can feel that lateral expansion of the ribs, or on your tummy where you can feel the tummy and working and that diaphragmatic breathing. So again, we're going to inhale and exhale all the way out, hold the breath and lift the head ever so slightly from the floor on the breath hold. And then when you've had enough, back down and inhale. So when you lift your head, imagine that your head is on some scales and you just want to release the head up from the scales enough to set the scales back to zero. So you're not crunching, you're not straining the neck, you're not doing anything other than just lifting your head just a little bit. You exhale on the breath hold, lift the head. And this really works your transverse abdominals, your corset muscle that wraps all the way around you. And of course, at the same time, putting the pressure onto the hand or your towel. So then swap the legs over, and I've got now another hand under my back and one hand either on my ribs or on the tummy. And it's an exhale and a lift and hold. When you lift and hold, it really doesn't matter how long you hold for. If you're feeling any discomfort in the neck, back, abdominals, anywhere, just reassess your posture. Make sure you're pushing the back into the hands. So exhale and hold with the head. And remember, just lifting the head a tiny way up. A top tip for this one is to keep your eyes focused on the ceiling. Don't try and look down towards the knee or look anywhere other than the ceiling. You're keeping your posture in alignment and just raising the head a tiny bit. You can see my head is barely lifting from the floor. Not much at all. And all the time I'm putting pressure onto my hand by pushing down with my back. And that should really make you feel that your abdominals are really working. Also with the inhale, making sure that it's an inhale through the nose, not the mouth. The exhale can be through your mouth. Brilliant. Okay, so now we're just going to go back and pop the hands in or the towel and just do a few more tilts. So those pelvic tilts, how we started. And you should really feel the abdominals beginning to work. And this is something you can do a few times a day. You can do all these a few times a day if you wish. It's a really good exercise for the pelvis, the transverse abdominals, the back, core and pelvic floor. So this one, you can see me inhaling, you can see my tummy expanding and then pushing down. Now we're going to go into some heel taps. So keep your feet flexed for this one. Again, keep your hands or your towel under your back. And we're going to inhale and exhale, exhale, inhale, and exhale and inhale. Keep pushing the back down. So really your back is pushed down when your leg is, or your heel is tapping the floor. So when you're extended, because normally when you extend, your back naturally wants to arch. So you're just really trying to, as you tap your heel down, that's when you're pushing your back into your hands or onto your towel if it causes you any discomfort with your hands there. Brilliant, that was a well done from me. Okay, so this one, we're going to go into a sort of a bridge position. So we're just practicing the pelvic tilts again now with the inhale and exhale. So remember, you're just doing that tiny movement, which is so good. I can't tell you how good this is for you. And then we're going to extend the pelvic tilt into a glute bridge. You can see underneath my body is fairly straight. I haven't arched my back. We're going to inhale and exhale and then move the arms backwards and forwards. So here I'm inhaling now. On the exhale, I'm going to scoop my pelvis up. I'm going to hold my breath at the top, feel the pull from the pelvic floor, and however many arm movements you can do. And on the inhale, roll back down. So don't just plonk yourself down. Make sure it's a roll back down. And scoop the pelvis up on the exhale. Exhale all the way out and hold the breath and do as many arm movements as you feel comfortable. And inhale, roll back down. So doing a glute bridge by scooping up the pelvis is so beneficial for the back. If you go into a normal glute bridge and you don't scoop up, it can put a big strain on your back. So this is very back friendly. When you do the breath hold at the top, you should, or you will in time, feel that pelvic floor tense. And now we're going into just some breath holds. So I've got my hands on my ribs or in this position. This position opens up the rib cage, but it might be uncomfortable for some of you who've got a bit of a niggly shoulder. So I'm going to do it in this position, or put your hands on your ribs. And I'm just going to inhale deep into the belly and laterally pushing out my intercostal muscles in my ribs. Exhale all the way out until you can't make the sound anymore, and hold the breath. And then when you're ready, inhale again. The exhale should be like a sigh, nice and relaxed.